and this is the video about the EA, about how it is. This is parameters I will come to later, and I will just send again as text, even much more clearly. I hope this will be small. So I'm looking at this shape. I'm going to show examples. So we're looking at this structure. So it's like price displays down, retraces, displaces down again, without closing below this, and moves up. Of course, this is a line graph, a line chart. And what are the parameters for this shape? First, from the body, so from the lowest body on this displacement to this center. So we are looking at more like, if I can have a text, we are saying like this is like a peak, or like a swing. Maybe a swing might be easy, but most time, not all the time that there's a swing here, but most times like a peak. And then we would have like this first leg, and then we would have the center, and then we would have a second leg, right? And then we have this pass through the center. It's going to pass through. And for entry criteria, which we would mention, it would be a return back to this center with a limit, and then a final target. So on this, what are the requirements that let me know that to filter out? Because there's a lot of, even here alone, there's this peak, the second leg, this the center, this one, and this is it rising. So there is just that. But how do I know that this is valid? And peak, first leg, is center, second leg, and that this is passing, that to consider this, or this. So which comes to filters, the filters is one, the center from the body to body. So even though this looks like this, but in real life, because we don't use line charts, but for body to body, so the last body on the center to this second leg, so the center of the center to the second leg must be traced 60%. I use 60% and 0.3 just because it's the same way, in the same direction, in opposite direction rather. So there must be a body. This second leg must have a body. I will still send this later. Also one, center to second leg must be a 60% retracement with a body to body close below the 60%. So below the 60% must be a body close. And so that's the first rule. Additionally, we have, so I'm going to use this to depict an EA. So we have the 20 moving average, so that is always there. So this 20 moving exponential moving average, when we are breaking through the center, this should be above it most times. Of course, we can have situations where we would have something like this, whereby this is acting on top of the 20 moving EMA, but that's something that's, first off, is the most common, or the most things that happen is that most times the EMA is sorry, I'm using this, but it's down, and maybe something like this, and by the time this second leg is forming, this pass is forming through it, it is breaking above it. So we want this center to always break, sorry, this second leg, this pass, to break above the center and break above the 20 EMA. So the second one is pass is breaking through the 20 EM. And that's all. Oh, and then for entry, entry is the center, because we do not, since the center is a reference point, the center with a limit order. And stop loss is the low of the second leg, and TP is supposed to be 3R, but what I'm trying to say is that why it's and what but is that in the EMA we are hoping that this will be able to, you'll be able to impute it in the criteria ahead. So if you're running it for the day, it's like 3R, like a box. If you put 3 there, then it's targeting 3R. If you put 2R, then it's targeting 2R. But let's just say ideal condition, or for nicer 3, but this should be variable, of course. And there is just one last point, is invalidation. So what is the invalidation? Invalidation of a setup that prints like this is if the second leg has a body close below the lowest body of the first leg, and this is the only invalidation. And with that, we are set. And what did I mean? Let's come back to this example. So if I was using this leg, let's just assume it, price went from here, this was the low, so this is the lowest body. Once this happens, so we add something to zoom in, hopefully you've seen. So if we first leg, center is just like this flat head, nothing is happening. These bodies, immediately we drop down, we retrace again, we are below 60% because we closed here. Once this close happens below this body, then this is no longer valid. So all of a sudden, this, if you wanted to look for a center, you're looking at this because this is a swing, so you're changing your attention to, okay, this is a start here. So in this instance, this is the lowest body, yeah, and this guy, if it retraced 60%, let's see. Yes, it did. This body here is below 60%. The body in the swing down here is below 60%. There was a 60% retracement body to body from here, and this guy passed through this EMA, even though the EMA was on top. Yes, that's okay. By the time this center was passing through, it passed through. Of course, a limit will come and pick it down here, but we'll talk about this later. So that is it. So if this was valid, a limit will be placed here. The stop loss would be at the low of this second leg. This is the low, not the body, the low. And the TP would be, like I said, it's variable. Let's assume it's 3 to 1, and that will be all. And a limit here, it will peak, close it here, and what's the time frame? 15 minutes. What is the number one pair to practice on? GJ. We use FXCM feed. Defaultly, that's what the feed I use normally, so that might be what I use. But 15 minutes, this structure, of course it appears on everyone, but 15 minutes is almost like the standard for us for now. If 15 minutes is too small, you can start from the 1 hour, but it doesn't matter, it's the same formation everywhere. And then the EMA 20 exponential moving average across all. So that's it. I'm going to stop this video so that this one would be like an introduction explaining it, and I'll be able to to reference it. Once again, just like a quick summary, this is a line graph. We have a peak, like a peak or a swing, a retracement down, a retracement up, and then that forms a center. A center is formed once price forms the swing point, or maybe a series of candles that is not closing above, and then we'll retrace back down. This retracement, if it is more than 60% retracement, so maybe I should change this so it doesn't confuse you. So if it is more than 60% retracement and places a body here, then it's valid to go. Now we want this to close above our center. Once it closes above the center, we have and close above the center and the EMA, then we have a trend. We want to set a limit at the lowest body, not high, at the body of the center here, and the stop loss is here and it's high. And if I change this just for a minute in this area to a line graph, it showcases what we are saying. This is like of course, that was a mistake for me. Of course, because it's a line graph, everything looks, you don't know where the body is, but you see the idea. A peak, up, down, a center, second leg retracement, and then in this instance, because we do not see this, so that's why in this instance a line graph doesn't show, unlike a candlestick pattern that shows this. I think I was even maybe. So the line graph only shows the body. I'm getting the body to body. It doesn't show the wicks. So you see, body. So maybe this might be helpful or allow you to have an idea of which way. So, and of course, not everything. This one was on, some might say on a knife that this looks okay, but if we switch back to it, this is just, this is happening on top of the EMA, no EMA cross, so we would not consider this, for example. But I will stop this now so that it's not a very long video.